Hey, what's up? My name's David Jolicoeur, aka Trugoy the Dove, 1/3 of the band De La Soul, MC, some say rapper, wordsmith, lyricist, etc., etc. I officially started in the music business, recording business, I want to say 1988. Professionally, I've always been writing for fun since I was maybe 14, but professionally signed to contract and recording music and releasing music, I believe I might have been 18 at the time. I think what's probably remained consistent with myself personally from childhood to adulthood would probably be investing in my experiences, whether it's learning a lesson in the line of work that I do or even the artwork that I work on. It's about expressing through experiences. So that's probably been, one thing that's consistent for me. As a child, just always writing and drawing what I felt and saw. And I guess through my adult years and through my career, just writing and expressing and whichever way, investing into the experience I've had, in my life throughout the years. I think to look back and see how my success and the success of my group transformed was probably something that was for its time. To place it in this era now and hope that it would follow the same tracks would probably be something that I think would be totally different. I think time and that moment is a special thing. The innocence that I had then and that my band and the group members had then to pursue a career would probably be a little bit different today. I think the reason being is that time and a moment definitely dictates a path. I think at this time, I probably would be raised in a different city by maybe a family who are in a different environment of things. Maybe my household would be a little bit more different. Maybe the experiences that I have would be a whole lot different. The friends, school, so on and so forth. I think the impact of my life at the time and my environment at the time and my upbringing at the time, all those things indicated, the direction that I was going in. And I guess putting it in a new setting, new environment, new conditions, it would totally be different. I think my personal greatest accomplishment is probably being a part of raising another human being and bringing them into this world with some sort of moral fiber, sensitivity, smarts, diligence, kindness, so on and so forth. Having a kid and seeing that child become an amazing human being. Everybody's kid is going to be amazing to them, but just trying to do the right things and feeling like you've done some of the right things, and along the way, probably made some errors, but you learn from it and you move on, and the outcome is seeing somebody who, God willing, goes to school, graduates from college, and then leads their own life. It's kind of an impressive thing. Professionally, I think probably one of my personal, and I guess my group, I always have to say group because it is a collaborative effort professionally, would probably be consistency and longevity. I think, throughout our 24 years, we've had ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and you definitely reap from your hard work. But I think the most successful thing is being able to still remain and work and have people who adore what you're doing and support what you're doing, even now in this 2013 year when you began maybe 24 years ago. What would Jesus say? Um, I'm not too sure what Jesus would say about my body of work. And if I just look at Jesus as a human being critiquing what I've done, I think he'd probably say, you work hard, you've been truthful, you've been honest, and you've been conscious about what you're doing. So God would probably say, I'm proud of your work and proud of your efforts. And yeah, you've been conscious. You've been trying to do the right thing. You've been consistent. You've learned from some mistakes, and you aren't perfect. So you're doing a good job. I think what my group can probably do to insert ourselves into maybe the whole scene, the industry now a bit more, to get people aware of who we are and what we do, is probably to be more in on the scenes. I think what we do and what we've done has its time, it has its era, and I think it was a different way to pursue being in the scene. I think, of course, if you want to be out there, you have to hang out, you have to go out, you have to be a part of things and be at certain places. And I think, for us, we've had more responsibilities, whether it be families or just other things going on in our lives. That's something that you have to insert yourself in. You got to be on the scene. So I would say probably being in on the scene a bit more would probably be something that could be helpful. In my particular opinion, I think the only thing that the industry may be missing is, to a degree, creativity and, um, yeah, that's what I'd probably think. A bit of creativity. I think we have a lot more clones than we have originals nowadays. It's good music. It's entertaining or have you, but I think there's a time in every year, genre, era, what have you, it becomes a bit repetitious. And I think right now that's the state of this this era right now. We're in the midst of a bit of repetition. It works. It looks and sounds good, but they're a bit much too much carbon copies in creativity. If I could change anything in the industry, I would like to see the days where fans and entertainers didn't cross the line. I think it was special when you had people who were either behind the scenes or were fans staying in their position, and entertainers and the stars in their position. I think everybody nowadays is a star. No one pays to go to see shows, and everybody got a hookup or a friend or somebody they know, and it takes away the special aspect of it sometimes. I think that everybody wants to be on the stage and wants to be in the spotlight, and it just takes away the special factor of fans appreciating, and artists giving. I think nowadays, since everybody, since everybody is like there is no dividing line, artists don't even give as much anymore because the audience is half your friends or half the industry, and vice versa. So, if anything, I would change. I would like to see that divide happen again, so that it becomes special again. I know it sounds rather cliche, but I don't think there are any regrets in my personal career. I think everything is an experience, and you learn from it, and you grow, and you get better at what you do, and you shape your life and to be a better life. I don't think there's anything that's happened terribly bad in my career, our career. So maybe I can't really answer that question. But for me, I feel like every experience, especially the bad ones that you might regret, has been a learning lesson, and it's only made me a better person today. I think to sit someone down who is new in the business, fresh in the business, and eager, first thing I would say is learn as much as you can. Ask questions. Don't be afraid because you don't know the answer to ask. I think this whole industry is about knowing. knowing what happens to your record, knowing what happens via radio, knowing what publishing is, knowing what so on and so forth is. I think it's about knowing, and then once you know, you can adjust, apply, fix, remedy, so on and so forth. Everything that you question or think about or even introduced to. I think also knowing your position as well. I think people have to realize that sometimes you might not become the biggest singer, MC, dancer, or what have you. You have to find a position. I've seen people throughout my 25 years who have been MCs and then, really realize that that's not for them and become, huge photographers, huge DJs, even huge promoters. I think, not everyone's built for the stage. Not everyone has what it takes for it to be an entertainer, rapper, singer, artist, actor, so on and so forth. But find your lane if you're interested. We need attorneys. We need venues. We need promoters, and so on and so forth. So also be aware of what your lane is. I don't think social media is solely paying your dues. I think the individual who says that and that's all they've done um, might not have paid the same dues in the same regards. But if you're the individual that's out there and you're doing the study work and you're actually doing the long work and hard work, then I believe it's the similar in interjecting yourself on a internet based platform. It's a lot of hard work. I don't know if it's the work that per se we were doing, and I don't know if it's the work that Marvin Gaye and so many others from Motown was doing. I know that's not what we were doing. So there are different degrees and different levels. Um, One would only think that because their work is hard work regardless, so I respect that. But I don't think solely, making sure you're on every website or having your music available for free download, so on and so forth, is paying dues. I mean, after being an entertainer, I think my personal thing has always been design, um, creative design. I think I've always been interested in that, and whether it's designing a song, and I say that just a picture of it, laying out a song, coming up with concepts and choruses and verses and bridges and so on and so forth. I think I can always apply that in so many different avenues, whether it's designing clothing or sneakers or designing a home or a studio or an interior designer or designing or doing advertisement design. So I think that's something that I've always been interested in. I do to this day outside of being an MC in a group. That's what I would probably like to do. I love music, but I think that the music that I'm in has its time and its genre and its age group, and if that wouldn't work for me, I definitely would segue straight into design of some sort. I've gone to school for design, architectural engineering, so on and so forth. So I would revert back to that.